Armed men have killed 3 soldiers at a military checkpoint in eastern Lebanon. They were stationed near the town of Arsal in the Bekaa Valley. The Lebanese military says the gunmen fled across the border with Syria. And Hamel has come under mortar fire. A woman living on the outskirts of the town was killed by a shell on Monday. These attacks 2 days after 4 rockets were fired into the southern suburbs of Beirut, injuring 4 people. Let's talk now in Beirut to the retired Lebanese Army General Hisham Jabber, who's now head of the Middle East Centre for Studies and Research. General, good to have you on this programme. Do you detect a pattern with these attacks from Syria into Lebanon?
Yeah, of course. What happened now in Lebanon, whether the events in Tripoli or the rockets which were launched in Beirut or the incident, the terrorism operation against the soldiers this morning, is a reaction to the events in Syria. We cannot deny this. Of course, it's a translation, to the military translation, to the divergence in Lebanon, a political divergence toward the situation in Syria, where there is part of the Lebanese people supporting the regime and another part is against this regime. But this divergence, political divergence, should not be translated on the land to a fighting or attacks and terrorism operation against the army. Especially the army is the only institution which still have the respect and the trust and the support of the whole
I'm worrying, General, whether this is a deliberate attempt to draw Lebanon into the wider conflict, or whether it is just the consequences of a dispute in Syria that naturally would spill over into Lebanon.
I don't think personally that Lebanon will be bring to the conflict and will have a civil war for many reasons. First of all, I don't think there is an international decision about this and or green light about it. And second, in my opinion, most of the countries who are involved in the Syrian civil war, whether with the regime or against the regime, they need Lebanon to stay as a platform for mass media, for finance, and to provide also the both sides, by logistic and weapons. I think Lebanon will stay like it is. There is no international decision or a green light. But if there is escalation in the situation in Syria or a dramatic incident, we fear that in Lebanon we may have escalation in the situation like what happened in Tripoli and what happened when they launched rocket inside Beirut.
Is there perhaps a bigger danger for the Lebanese, having reached an agreement after many years with the Syrian regime? Is there perhaps a bigger danger if Assad's government actually falls and Lebanon is then faced with an entity in Syria that it knows little or anything about?
Lebanon is very attached to Syria. This is the geography, this is the history, and economic relation, diplomatic relation, and a human relation, etc., etc. And Lebanon also has a treaty with Syria. I'm talking about the Lebanese government and the Syrian government, who's still in the position. The Syrian said that we have treaty and many agreements with Lebanon, and Lebanon said it will stay away from the events in Syria, and Lebanon could not really, on the land stay away. As you see, when they said we have to stay away, many Lebanese went to Syria to fight against the regime, and now we see Hezbollah, also fighting in Syria with the regime. I mean, it's theoretical, thinking and wishful thinking maybe for the Lebanese government. Second, the Lebanese government is not capable also to maintain, to make decisions. And especially we have a resigned government and another government which we could not, have it, and we'll still have the situation.
General,
we have the parliament under extension, we have the Lebanese army only. That is the only institution which gives trust and can maintain order, but it needs political cover.
We have to leave it there. General, thank you very much. General Jabber talking to us from Beirut.